Hi, this is my first ever YouTube video, and this is my Tamiya TL-01, and I recently put a Traxxas Velineon motor and ESC in there just to see what would happen, see how it handled and how fast it went. And I just thought someone on YouTube might be interested to see what I did, so I thought I'd make a video of it. Basically it was pretty simple. The ESC's here. I used a hole that was already there, drilled a new hole and just used two L-shaped brackets to put the standard screws into, which holds it tight, not too tight, a bit of flexibility in case you crash. And the motor dropped straight in. Two screws on this side, it's exactly the same size as a standard, or the same diameter as a standard silver can. I put the heatsink on I was using in my old car, in the old motor, or on the old motor. And that was basically it. Connected it up, took it for a run, and it was absolutely terrible. You can't use full power, it won't go in a straight line. TL-01s don't really go in a straight line anyway. They're not that good for that kind of thing. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was worth doing, bit of an experiment. But the only other thing I had to do was I wanted to run a Traxxas. It's a 7-cell Traxxas motor, battery, and all I did was extend. I had a spare one of these brackets on the edge, so I just chopped it in half, used some extra long stainless steel screws either end, screwed them in, used this Tamiya quick release bracket which I already had on there anyway, very useful. Just bend the body up and slide the battery straight in, and it fits great. The wires aren't secured or anything, they're just sat up here. Battery plugs in there, and it runs great, just in case anyone doesn't believe me. It's got a 2.4 GHz controller, which is this, which actually came with the Traxxas that I got this ESC and motor out of. So there we go. This helps if you turn it on. There you go. So it does work. Turn it off like that, because for some reason you can't use the on-off switch, because it can cause a problem. Not sure why, but the internet knows best, that's what they say. Or people on the internet. Some other modifications I've made. Well, I've told you about the quick change battery. Foam bumper, very useful, which I broke on my very first run, and so I've repaired with a chopping board. I just cut a piece out, drilled a couple of holes, cost me £1, and I may end up dyeing it black, but I really can't be bothered, to be honest with you, at the moment. I've got some turnbuckles in an earlier attempt to make the car run straight, and never worked. High torque steering servo, again, didn't make the slightest bit of difference to it. Okay, as I was telling you before I knocked the camera over, the high torque steering servo, it's a little bit slow and it doesn't really make the slightest bit of difference. The car still won't go in a straight line. So to that end, because I couldn't get top speed out of it, and I'm interested to see what sort of speed it does, I fitted a gyro, just a cheap gyro, Hobby King HK41B. Made no adjustments to it whatsoever, just fitted it, just routed the wires loosely. I haven't really done a particularly tidy job. And took it on one quick run up my front drive and back down again, and yeah, it seems to be doing the job. But I need to give it a proper run, really. I mean, I'll show you what sort of effects that has. Show you the set itself. Okay. Now let's see if I can make it work. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Typical. Nope, it's not doing anything. Right. Probably broke it already. got it plugged in correctly. Yeah, that's plugged in, that's plugged in. The light definitely came on. Ah, there we go, now it's working. So as you can see, as the car turns, it just reacts a little bit quicker than you can on the controller. Keeps the front wheels, keeps the car going in a straight line. So hopefully, the fact that I've mounted it right at the back won't affect it, won't cause a problem, and I should be able to get some top speed runs. I have taken a couple of videos of this, which hopefully I'll put at the end of this if I can edit them in. They don't show the complete top speed run, but it's just give you an idea of how it runs. That's pretty much it, apart from, well, it's kind of a rally car anyway, so I wanted it to go off-road. I don't want to just use it on the road, so another modification I've made, which you can't really see that well, is I've extended the shocks at the bottom by a few mil just by using the shock bottoms from some spare Tamiya Dual Hunter shocks I had lying around. Extend it just maybe a few mil, not a lot, don't change the travel at all, just give you a little bit more ground clearance. And every time I've removed any screws, I've replaced them with these stainless Allen head screws. Put some in there, put them all over the chassis. They don't rust and they look a bit nicer, and I can use my electric screwdriver to put them in and out. And because they're a much finer thread, they don't vibrate out, so you don't tend to find them backing off all the time. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I can show you the car. The parts came off. Which is that. There's my Traxxas Stampede with the Range Rover Sport body on it. Looks pretty good. I put the body out. It just comes off it's just come off a New Bright toy. It didn't come with that. It came with an original body. And as you can see, battery and motor are missing because they're on this car. So that's basically it. If you want to leave a comment, say this was the most boring video you've ever seen, or if you want to want me to make some more, I've got a Grasshopper which I've put independent front and kind of independent rear suspension on. Made a few modifications. I've got a Clodbuster with standard body, chassis and wheels, but I've put different suspension on, different steering, various modifications too. And I've got a Tamiya Dual Hunter with Traxxas power again, brushed this time. It's got the EVX2, I think, was twin motor, twin battery setup, long travel suspension, various other modifications, very fast, keep snapping drive shafts all the time. I could do a video of some of them if anyone's interested. If not, just let me know and I won't bother. I could show you what this originally had actually before I took this out. It was actually just a Traxxas 12-turn motor, which I swapped for the original silver can. To make them fit, you just have to take the metal cover off, which seems to be only held on magnetically, and it fits straight in. Standard gearing. And I had a Venom, I think it's called a something 240, just a standard Venom speed control. It will run 8.4, I think, so it will run a 7-cell and a standard Tamiya connector, and it will run down to about 8-turn motors. That was a 12-turn 550 can, so slightly longer, and it just fitted as this one does actually. You can see it's pretty tight, the clearance there, but it does just fit, even with the usual Tamiya movable wheels, movable suspension parts, and that's the back wheels, not the front. It's just about clear, so it doesn't seem to hit it or anything, so that's fine. There's plenty of clearance, or just enough clearance. It doesn't seem to be getting smashed up from rocks and dirt and things. So yeah, that's my video. Feel free to leave a comment, and thanks for watching. See you next time.